Previously, in episode 1, the world was ruled by the women's because they got magical powers from a fruit of a different world. But the gate to that world frequently opens randomly and many civilians get caught on it, and it's called Mato Mishap, and our Yuki gets caught in one of the gate. And the Demon Defense Force was specially created to save civilians from another world, so Kyuka from 7th Squadron saved Yuki and a little kid. But the demon called Shuki surrounded them from all sides. So Kyuka used her slave-making powers on Yuki and turned him into her personal slave. So Yuki turns into a monster to get out of that situation, but every time Kyuka uses Yuki's powers, she has to give him a reward. Rewards are nice. It's like she can sense what Yuki wants as a reward, but seeing Yuki's power, Kyuka brought Yuki to her dorms to add him to the 7th Squadron, but the entire squadron has only girls. And they started to order Yuki around like a servant. Bro thought he could become a hero with this new power, but he had become a caretaker of the girls. But the dorms of the Demon Defense Force were inside of the Mato world and demons called Shuki always tries to penetrate the magic barrier. Sone teaches Yuki that Mato has 6 areas divided and each has its own Demon Defense Force stationed, and the area they are inside is the southeast area where the monster shows up more frequently. But then Himari comes there and orders Yuki to prepare the meal. So he gets back to his job and impresses the girls with his cookings. But Yuki realized that he wanted to be a hero and that's why he joined the squadron, but now he's nothing more than a caretaker, so he discussed this with Kyuka. But she told Yuki she would only use him in the battle in dire situations, but before Yuki could say anything against her, Himari threatened him to obey every order. So now Yuki was stuck with his cleaning job, but while cleaning the watchtower, he got a sneak peek at Bath and saw Himari there. So Yuki quickly hides before someone notices him. But too bad for him that Tsuruga saw him. She had a size-controlling magic so she could become small or large anytime, and she clicked the photo of Yuki being a perv. And Tsuruga asked Yuki to become her personal servant so she could make good use of him, so Yuki thought of deleting that photo, and when Tsuruga dropped her phone, Yuki tried to grab the chance. But Tsuruga took her phone first and Yuki grabbed something else instead. She was messing with him to her heart's content because she let her phone drop on purpose. So while being sick of her little games, he saw outside that Kyuka was training Himari in close combats, but when a Shuki showed up, she showed her actual skills to teach Himari. Seeing that, Yuki knew he should never mess with Kyuka ever. But then, Ne comes there and asks Yuki to look after dorms because she is going on a meeting with Himari and Kyuka, but Tsuruga is staying behind and Ne vouched to Yuki that Tsuruga is a good girl. But only Yuki knows how evil she is, so when all the others left, Tsuruga ordered Yuki to give her a shoulder massage and she was impressed that Yuki was good in it. So Yuki tells her that he had a big sis so he frequently gave her massages. Tsuruga can relate to it because she also had a big sis, but she grew up without her father and attended all-girls academy. So when she saw Yuki she just got excited and decided to mess with him for fun. For Tsuruga fun is everything and that's also the reason she joined Demon Defense Forces. But for right now Tsuruga asked for a video game match with Yuki and the loser has to strip down. Yuki thought he could win this time, but too bad for him, he lost all the rounds. So Tsuruga used her powers to become larger to punish Yuki. From this you could say she saw how small Yuki is, and that crushed the pride of Yuki. But then a big Shuki attacked the dorms and Tsuruga kicked out that large Shuki herself. But then another one showed up and this time, it was way larger than the previous one. And Tsuruga was being outmatched by the largest Shuki, so Yuki remembers he had to kiss Kyuka to activate his powers, but she wasn't around, so he kissed Kyuka's belongings to transform. But it didn't have much effect. It was effective enough to activate half of his power, yet he saved Tsuruga from that Shuki, but he lands on the Tsuruga's natural airbags, and after that, Tsuruga saw the big mountainside and got impressed by Yuki, but after that, Yuki was having a massage as a reward this time. But Kyuka scolded Tsuruga for underestimating Shuki. So she ordered her to help Yuki with the household chores, and then she left, but it just gave her a chance to mess with Yuki even more. But Yuki didn't get that Tsuruga has fallen in love with him. Soon after that, Kyuka brought Yuki back to Earth for a while. She had something to do, but before that, she changed into her casual clothes, and Yuki couldn't help but admire how pretty she is. She came to Earth to pray at her mother's grave and cemetery on her death anniversary. When she was a child, Kyuka's village was attacked by Shuki. That Shuki was a unique one with a horn on its head who massacred the village, so from then on, Kyuka vowed to find and kill that horned Shuki herself, but after that, it was time to get back to Mato, but Yuki stops Kyoka because he wanted to try out parfaits, so Kyoka agreed to his request. And there Yuki shares that he also lost his big sister in Gate long ago, so we know how she feels, but sometimes having fun could prevent her from going ragged. She likes the way Yuki thought and loved the desert, but then, an emergency came up at Mato, so they left in a hurry. Kyoka used Yuki's monster form to get back to Mato quickly. But it's time for Yuki's reward again, so I'll skip his reward scene, not because it's boring, but because it's way too fun. The whole squadron then meets. And Himari showed there was a dense number of Shuki gathering in a single place, so Saruga and Himari went first to reduce the number, but a dark ray hits Saruga out of nowhere. It came from that same horned Shuki, and there was a rider on it as well. She took out Himari as well, so when Kyoka and Yuki steps in, Kyoka was solely focused on getting her revenge. But Aoba tells Kyoka she was searching for her little brother who just entered into Mato. She tells them that her bro was obsessed with her, but before she could tell them her brother's name, a giant Shuki disturbed her, so she killed it off for butting in. After that she targeted Yuki and captured him, but at a closer look she realized it was Yuki, but Kyoka steps in and injured Aoba. So Aoba leaves from there and Kyoka thought of going after her, but Yuki first prioritized Saruga and Himari's safety, so Kyoka came to her senses. And they brought Himari and Saruga back to the dorms, but now it was time for reward again, but I apologize that I can't show the rewards, but to explain, this anime is similar to High School DxD. So if you've seen High School DxD you'll know? So aside from that, in the middle of their rewards, Yuki tells Kyoka that Mystery Girl might be his lost sister, which adds up everything because that girl was searching for her brother as well. But still Kyoka thinks that the girl is a Shuki who might have taken over the memories of Yuki's sister after eating her, and Yuki was so lost in thought that he was getting his work messed up. Sone comforts Yuki because he appears worried. It helped Yuki feel a little better, and Aoba tells her companion that she found her brother, but he looked like Shuki. So she thinks that Yuki had become a government experiment, or it might have been Kyoka's ability, but anyways, they'll cross paths again, and on Yuki's side, the 6th Squadron's captain Izumo came to visit the 7th Squadron, but specifically, she came to visit Kyoka, but there was something between Himari and the Vice Captain Azuma. But that is where the 2 episodes of the anime ends, but subscribe to the channel to watch more of this anime. Until then, take care.